Premier League, Group Stage, Round of 32.
Map is Way Station. We have the players both with spawning.
Spawning.
Yep. Spawn in the close positions, which will be very interesting. And down in the bottom left-hand side of this map, we have the orange Protoss. He is InkedWarrior.
Yeah.
InkedWarrior.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then up here on the top right-hand side of the map with the lovely Apu Dekel on his command center is, even though his clan name says Fruits, it's apparently just called The Better Clan. And this is, and that's where I think the name pops up.
Ah, yes.
Pinkamena.
Right? I think that's, we're not supposed to say that. The boring girl system.
Right.
All right. And so right off the bat, we've got a probe going across the map, but normal stuff going on here so far as we get barracks coming down in front of Pinkamena's base, and before any gas or anything. And of course, gateway there too. Yeah. Normal stuff.
Like no radical proxies anyway in this game. Even if this map is rather good for proxy 2-racks and floating into the back of the main.
Yeah, it can be pretty good. The probe was starting to do some harassment there, but now he's getting harassed and just kind of bouncing around. Oh, he broke
like
free.
He should get out with that.
Yeah. So he gets to see the timing of the gas, and then he'll just get out of there. That's usually all you're looking for, really.
Yep, you want to make sure that the barracks is at home and that there's a gas taken, basically, if you're Protoss. You want to know that you're going to be playing against something relatively well
normal.
known. Yes, normal.
Normal stuff. Yeah, usually tells you that gas timing. Usually is going to tell you that a Reaper is coming, but he's actually only putting one SCV in the gas, so it's not going to be a Reaper. It's going to be a Marine coming out first. There he goes up to 3 now. 2. Yeah.
And the Protoss, meanwhile, he's got 2 in each gas. So it looks like he's going to be looking to do some kind of... I believe 2 in each gas is a Stargate, most likely.
It usually is, although he's just moved it to 3, so I don't know if he changed his mind or what there, but now he's fully mining.
So he could be going for an expansion.
And a second barracks as well as a reactor coming on the first barracks, so this could be a very unit-heavy opening.
Yep, it does look very much like the 2-racks pressure from Wings of Liberty.
Yeah,
which is built, which of course does not work anymore because of the Mothership War.
That's true. It may, however, have a better chance if he's going straight Stargate, and this Nexus not yet building a Mothership core or anything, and neither of them looking to expand, although there comes this command center.
Command center for the Terran.
Yeah.
And considering he is doing the 2-racks pressure, it's interesting, the decision. We'll have to see how it pans out for him, because those extra minerals could have prevented him from being supply blocked just now, or very shortly.
Very true. And we got an Oracle coming out for our Protoss player. Unfortunately, I think he's going to run into a lot of Marines already out on the map by the time he gets there. There's only 4 so far, but yeah.
Yep, and there seems to be a lack of Marines in production, mainly due to the supply block.
Yes.
But 4 Marines will not cut it against an Oracle, unfortunately.
No, 4 is not enough. You need 6, basically.
Yep. No. 6, a turret, and a Thor, and you're fine.
Yeah.
No way the Oracle get in.
Yeah. We don't mind too, maybe. If you actually want to kill it.
Yeah, why not? Throw a Widowmine in. So there we have it, the Mothership core is out, but I don't think Pinkamena's even going to attempt the pressure. Like, he's already way past the time, and he's researching stim rather than combat, combat shield, concussive shells. Sorry.
He did sneak a SCV in, but it's not actually scouting around, so he didn't see that the Stargate was out. This Oracle is going to come into the mineral line, and while there's enough Marines, they're not right there, so he may get a few kills.
Yep, he's going to get quite a lot of kills.
2, 3, 4, 5. 5, and a Marine, and 2 Marines, and 3 Marines. They split up, unfortunately, on him. And so yeah, Oracle with 8 kills to begin with, 5 workers, 3 Marines. Pretty good.
That's definitely a good start for Protoss.
Yeah. And of course, it is still alive. He's going to swing in here, but he's got no energy. Yeah, no, doesn't get any more kills.
Yeah, but
does chase him away a little bit. But yeah.
Now the Marauders coming down to help out against the Oracle.
They're just intimidating, I think, even though they don't do anything. Just pure intimidation. He's actually going for a second Oracle here as well, so he's kind of doubling down on this. He didn't start it right away, but maybe now saw, I've got room. There's area to attack. There's no engineering bay out yet. It looks like he is putting down 2 now, so it will be a while before he gets a turret up.
Yep. Just if you looked from a Protoss perspective at what InkedWarrior had seen, he saw that there was only 2 barracks and one of them had a tech lab, so he knew that marine production was at most going to be 3 per cycle. Yep. So making an Oracle, an extra Oracle, kind of makes sense in that situation, because compared to like a normal having 3 barracks opening with a reactor, the Terran's not going to be making as many marines as normal. So I think he's looking to capitalise on that, which is definitely going to work, considering he is just
coming in here now. And there are only 2 Marines actually left in that line, he'll go after these Marines, but one of the Oracles is, is going to go down. But this one, still with a little bit of energy left, will get a few more kills and go off. He's up to 11 on that one. Yep. Overall workers killed is 14, plus about, I think, 5 or 6 Marines.
Yep. Definitely trading a lot better just now. The Protoss, his use of the Oracles has been very cost effective so far.
Most definitely, and turrets are finally going up, but the damage is done there, and he's going right for a 3rd command center as well.
Yep. Meanwhile, the Protoss has opted to go down the Colossus tech path. Can't really see any fault with that.
Yeah, it seems fine, especially given the tech that he's kind of scouted here. There's actually no starport out yet, so no early access to Vikings. It all seemed to be bio and a lot of Marines, so...
and strangely enough, tanks.
Yeah,
Not
that's a little bit odd.
In TVP anymore. Yeah. Sure, in Wings of Liberty in the days of the 111, but tanks have definitely fallen out of fashion with standard bio play anyway. Like mech players, obviously you'll still have tanks with that, but mech isn't as commonly used.
Yeah, very few people do mech well. It's a harder thing to use. If you can use it well, it's quite good, but it is tougher to do, just due to lacking that mobility.
Yep, lack of mobility and just how slow it is to get up compared to bio as well.
Yeah,
bio replenishes so fast, and mech's just the complete opposite of bio, to be honest.
Yep. It's made of metal as opposed to bioness.
Yeah, it's like Transformers.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, interestingly, the 2 engineering bays that have been built have not even started researching yet for Pinkamena.
Yeah, no upgrades there. He's also not taken his gases on the natural, whereas the Protoss is mining off 4 full gases. He's chrono boosting out his range for Colossus, but if I'm not mistaken, there are no Colossus yet. He has it there. He's just starting to build it now.
Well, you still want to chrono boost that upgrade.
Yeah. He likes it.
I don't know why, if you don't have Colossus, but
he wants it done. He wants the first Colossus to be like really sure of himself by the time he comes out.
Yep. It's a confidence building exercise for him.
Yeah, that's it. He likes to be longer.
But there's actually quite a lot of gas investment off these 2 bases for the Protoss. Like,
yes.
He is building Void Rays, Colossus, and also still getting upgrades at the same time.
Yeah.
That is his 3rd just finished, so he'll be able to supplement his gas income now. But it's rather odd to see so many varied uses for gas off 2 bases for Protoss. Normally they would focus on the Colossus and the upgrades, or the Void Rays and the upgrades, but not kind of being able to get all 3 at the same time.
Yeah, definitely. I think he feels a little more comfortable doing all this at once, because he doesn't anticipate an attack anytime soon after some of the damage he did.
Yeah,
because he is late. Yeah, he's late getting the Colossus out, and the Void Rays wouldn't have been that great early on, but now he's starting to look a lot healthier. He's got a couple gateways that aren't being morphed into warp gates. I
Yeah.
don't know if you just forget about those, but they are there. And our Terran player, of course, chose to take the island behind him, which is a cute thing for Terran to do on this map. It's hard to get at, kind of, for
Yeah.
Protoss.
I
And,
always forget it's there.
Yeah.
Every game I play on this map, I completely forget about the islands base and never take it. I always take the really difficult third.
Yeah.
We stopped doing that. No wonder I
Yeah,
lose so many long games.
Makes sense. Makes sense. And
Still
he's
no-
even going for a 4th command center here, upgrading to an orbital now. So he's going to have a lot of mules to drop.
Yep, but he does need. Right, there we go. +1 attack has started
Yes.
at 15 minutes.
Good.
+1 armor
Plus 1
started.
armor as well. Good stuff.
I mean, the Protoss already has 111.
Yes.
He has shield
he's-
upgrades.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy to get the shield upgrade already, but he has gotten that out. I guess since he does have some air as well, and it definitely
Yeah.
facilitates moving into Archons later.
Archons, definitely.
But usually you don't get that so early.
Yep. Normally, I believe it's you get your 2 armor upgrades kind of as a priority against Terran.
Exactly. Exactly the case.
Gives your zealots the incredible tankiness that lets them survive the battle.
Oh,
Get your
now
POV in.
our Terran is moving on out. This does look like a pretty big army. Another Oracle is actually going to swing on in. If he knows about the island base, or he may assume the island base is there, or may just find it by accident, the mineral line there is actually really exposed, and there's nothing in the base to protect it. There's one turret, but it's just off to the side somewhere. So if he does become aware of that, he could kind of shut that base down for the time being.
Yep. Something I've noticed about the Terran army is a lack of combat shields for the Marines,
Yeah.
which
And that
will
hurts.
hurt. And here comes the Oracle into that mineral line.
Yeah.
And
Starting to go to town.
SCVs.
Yeah,
What are the
and this is
SCVs?
the same hero Oracle from before. The SCVs, I think, were trying to attack for a second. And we're up to 24 kills on that Oracle.
That's highly impressive. I don't think I've ever seen an Oracle with that many kills before.
It's I've only seen it in like team games or against really bad people. But
He's going to get a gas geyser.
yeah, I guess
The Oracle can add a building kill to all this.
Pretty good. Nice.
And
25
the move out
kills.
from the Protoss, look at how close these armies are.
2 armies moving out and trying to get into a good position here. The tanks are actually pretty good where they are if they can get the volleys in, but he's just going to bypass this entire army and start picking up the reinforcements. And all of a sudden the Bioforce has to come back, making the siege tanks certainly less good. Here comes the engagement.
And
Ice Force field split things up. Yeah.
But that's just so one-sided. Like
Yes.
the early damage, the upgrade advantage, the lack of Vikings. Like
Yeah, no
everything's
Vikings
just
there,
so
fighting without the mech. And this is a bit of a walkover right now.
Yeah, those 4
Pinkamena.
tanks
Yeah.
were still sitting sieged in the middle, so there we have it, there's game 1. To the bottom right hand side, in the fabulous pink, we have
InkedWarrior.
All right, and spawning up here on the top left-hand corner of the map, who just took that game with some brilliant Oracle harass and then just kind of bypassing the army. We have our orange Protoss.
QuakeCom. Pinkamena.
And hopefully that all worked out. Same,
hopefully we nailed it this time.
I think we got it cold, still cold. But normal stuff neither. Again, no proxy shenanigans showing up just yet. InkedWarrior Chrono boosting out his stuff, and Pinkamena once again going for the wall off at the ramp. And we'll immediately throw down the barracks.
I did not notice this in the first game, but I think you did. Pinkamena has a poo as his little symbol.
Yes, yeah.
Floating thing. That's rather cool. I like that.
It looks really nice. It fits in there nicely. Pinkamena's kind of all over the place with the fruits. Its clan name has nothing to do with the word fruits. And And then Apu has nothing to do with anything, but it all is good together.
Yes, he's like an amalgamation of modern culture. Because we
Exactly.
eat fruit, we watch The Simpsons.
Yes.
So that's
Exactly.
what Pinkamena is to us. He is the representation of, I don't know, the noughties, I guess.
Yeah. So that's
I
fine.
mean, that SCV
Oh,
getting
is he
harassed.
gonna get
Is he
it?
gonna lose it?
Oh, he's gonna run away.
He's going to get it.
Rex SCV.
And
Oh,
that's game over. Like,
yeah,
you just can't
exactly.
recover from that.
He didn't even. I didn't realize he didn't even finish the barracks. He aborted with 1 second left, and
Yep.
now it's done though.
Now, you might not think that means much, but it does mean the doorbell command was delayed by a good 5 seconds, which is totally
Yeah.
going to throw his build off. Kappa.
Yeah. On the flip side, though, InkedWarrior actually forgot in that harassment forgot to build a pylon, so he's missing out on like about 2 or 3 probes here. He even wasted a chrono boost on a block nexus, so that little bit of harassment will cost him a tiny bit, but he is putting down the pylon in the forward position, and we do get a
Yes.
Reaper at this time. And
Which will not be checking about.
Right.
It's interesting that the Terran had the Reaper delayed, yet chose not to scout about his base first for possible proxies, because that's a more immediate threat in my opinion. So it's kind of like what you should do first. When he gets to the base just now, like, I mean, this is a kind of later time for a Reaper to get in, but you'd expect there to be a mothership core and a stalker just now.
Yeah.
Which obviously there's not, so he's getting a bit of scouting. But if I remember correctly from Protoss timings, the tech choice can be down just now, is that correct? Like the robo, the target,
it could be. Yeah,
Would
if you're
be a
going
base.
directly to attack, then you would just put it down.
Yep.
Sometimes you'll keep it obviously off until you chase us away.
Yeah.
But yeah, he will go for a second gateway. I assume it will be a gateway attack.
Yeah, he's building a Twilight Council, so I think he's going to be favouring Blink.
Yeah, Blink. Yeah. Now, will he get in and see this? He'll swing by it, but not actually see the pylon down there.
Doesn't see the pylon. Now, I'm interested that InkedWarrior hasn't opted for the Halo Star build, where he builds a pylon, a forge, a gas, and then 2 gates, and then a nexus. I think we could see that appearing at some point tonight.
Yeah, probably.
Like,
I could see someone pulling
that
that
build
off.
is
He is
just-
expanding, but
he's opting to expand.
Yeah.
That's. I don't know how I feel about that yet.
yeah, I'm not sure. It doesn't feel like there's enough gateways though. We got 2 gateways. Blink obviously is going to be a while away, but he's not making more stalkers right now. Instead, prioritizing that nexus. Warp gate is finished now, so we'll see if he starts to warp in immediately. But he's got to watch where he does. The Reaper is sitting on the watchtower. If it sees anything there, then that will be an issue. But
Does it
right
see
now,
the pylon? Yeah,
think
it sees the pylon.
it sees the pylon. Yeah, so that should have been moved back probably behind the mineral line to avoid. When you do builds like this, you want to know exactly what the vision is.
Yep. Interestingly, in the base of Pinkamena, he's pretty much got the ideal infrastructure set up to deal with the Blink all in. He has 2 tech labs for Marauders and a tech lab and a factory for tanks.
Yeah.
I don't know if he actually is even aware that this is what's coming his way, but somehow, some way, he's magically managed to get to the ideal building setup.
Yeah, this is basically what he wants, although I'm also starting to wonder if this is coming his way. Two sentries have been warped in, and we still only have 2 stalkers out on the map, and he's making no inclination to move towards the proxy pylon or get anything else down, so I'm not sure that an attack is actually coming. He's getting 2 more gateways, but yeah.
Do you think it's just a defensive option to get Blink? Because he can now jump between...
Yeah.
I don't know, if he decides to take an early third, I guess, he can easily jump between his main and his thirds.
It's possible, I guess, but then what's the pylon for? And he is moving out now.
Sure.
So I kind of think if he does continue with this, it's just so late that I don't know if he's going to get a lot done. And he doesn't. We'll see the Reaper here. Pick it off, but of course that's all going to get seen.
Yep, he should be totally aware of this now. And seeing that it's only stalkers, I'm very surprised he decided to move things down the ramp like that.
Yeah.
Although
He's got two tanks in a reasonable position. I'd like to see one a little higher, not
Yes.
directly on the ramp. Right on the ramp actually is an impediment to himself. But he'll get a bunker on the low ground and 2 Marauders on the high. Even getting a third tank.
High ground, I think. Oh,
Yeah.
no, he's got more than enough.
Yeah, there's only 9 stalkers here. This isn't even in the ballpark of enough to really do damage.
But here it comes. He's going to blink right into
Blink
tank.
up, blink directly into both tanks, and he's just going to get
Not targeting the
ripped
tank
apart
either.
here. Oh.
And well, that went well.
Yeah, pretty good for Pinkamena. It was a good setup. They even get the third tank out in time. He's clustering all 3, though. You really should spread those out. I don't think there's going to be another attack anyway, but if you had those all blinked on, then none of them can fire. So you do want to spread a little bit. But I don't think it's going to matter.
Yep, InkedWarrior's realised this is done. He is building his robo facility. He's going to more than likely be transitioning into Colossus from here.
Mm-hmm.
So this should now go to a standard TVP. Although, once again, the medevacs are just incredibly late from Pinkamena.
Yeah,
But
very
I
late.
can't tell if the starport was delayed or not. I don't remember. Check.
He did seem to get that a fair bit late. He got the factory out and he started producing the tanks and prioritizing other things over actually teching up to the starport. He is getting the 3rd command center now, and I think that's going to land with no problem. There's almost no potential harass that the Protoss can do in the short term. He just doesn't have the units to do anything with it.
Well, Protoss is adding on quite a lot of gates here.
Yeah.
Extra 3, which I think brings them up to a total of 8. Or is that just a normal number to be on in 2 bases?
Yeah, you can support 8 with 2 bases with the robo there.
Mm-hmm.
Without a whole lot of problem, but yeah, I do wonder if this is meant to be aggressive. Usually you'd have more tech with this, though. He's got the robo, but there's no robotics bay down yet for the Colossus. He does have blink, but he's not going to High Templar just yet. So basically, the tech path really is fairly underdeveloped right now for InkedWarrior. Of course, he was relying on the blink. But he will try and establish a 3rd base now. It's always generally good to have more gateways than you can actually support, because you're going to have emergency warp-ins that you occasionally need to do. Drop coming in here now to the natural. It's
just using the boost
to make sure probes before he responds here.
And
we'll pick up.
Should be able to get away.
Out of range, just barely, but yeah.
Yeah. That was close. It looks like Pinkamena is gathering his army. Or was that just a random movement in the base?
I'm not sure what that was, but he's oddly clumped around certain buildings, but...
yes, he needs to protect the supply depots.
Yeah, definitely. Very important.
His Sim City is rather poor, I will say that. If you're looking for any tips, Pinkamena, the supply depots keep to the back of your base.
Right.
It frees up a lot of space.
Yeah, you don't want to be blocked in your own base, essentially.
Even though you can lower supply depots, obviously.
Yeah.
Like, that's production building space. That's where your barracks and your factories, your starports should be. Just a little tip for future reference. But it looks like he's moved out to take his 3rd. He has a lot of tanks, so 5 tanks.
Yeah, he's in quite a good position.
Yeah, without the Colossus, which the bay is just halfway done for, Protoss is going to have a really tough time trying to even put pressure on this 3rd. It's going to be uncontested. Although, I was going to say it's going to be uncontested, but the Protoss does not need to contest it because he has his own 3rd.
Yeah, he's got his own, and he's happy to do that. The Protoss is the one playing catch-up right now. He's the one 70 supply behind. So he's content to sit there and not try and do anything because he's trying to claw his way back in. It's Pinkamena that actually has to kind of realize he needs to put some pressure on, and he needs to do a little more than just a single drop or 2.
Yeah, and he needs to build or start researching combat shield.
Yeah,
as soon as possible.
That as well.
10 HP for your Marines extra.
As well, frankly, as any other upgrade. He does have +1 just on the way, but and we'll add a second engineering bay. But at this point in the game, he should be well on his way to 2-2.
At this point in the game, you should be halfway done 3-3 if you're totally on point with upgrades.
Probably, yeah. Particularly since his economy has not been harassed at all. He hasn't been slowed down in any significant way. The one attack that came, he just completely, he didn't even have to do anything. It was just shut down.
It was just hard shut down. And that is, so we have Colossus now coming out, but we also have the Templar Archives and Charge coming down from Protoss, so he is just gearing up to get that death ball going. Charge lots with Archons, with Storm, with Colossus. And if the Terran keeps sitting back like he has been, then Protoss is going to get there.
Yeah, I mean, the Terran's maxed where he is. So yeah, the longer you wait, just kind of the more that your opponent's going to catch up. And right now, he's still got a 60 supply lead. He will be going for this double prong drop right now. And he is actually moving his army across the map. So if he gets that into a good position, everything kind of hits around the same time. This could be a really big move for our Terran.
Yep. Although a mistake he has made is not taking out that pylon he knows about on his side of the map. That could be used for counterattacks, and considering he has taken a maxed army over, he's not going to be having that many reinforcements sitting at home to defend that.
Yeah.
I think that's something he needs to take into consideration.
Mm-hmm. The other thing too is I know there's only 2 Colossus out right now, but the Viking production is not there. He's got 2 starports right now, but he does need to get a couple Vikings to take those out.
And
drop coming into main here now. Big warping coming in. Nice surround on the forces here, and the Colossus reveal themselves. But as he moves the entire army up, the Terran army moves right into the 3rd base. And he's going to get a big setup. Yeah.
The ground army is just not going to have a good time engaging into that.
No.
Oh,
nice storms, though. Huge storms coming down on everything. But is the siege going to be just enough?
There are 4 Immortals. I think he has broken this.
He will clean it up. Just going to try and pick up, but yeah, no deal.
So what did Terran actually manage to get done moving out with a maxed army against a 150 supply Protoss? I think he achieved killing some Stalkers.
Yeah. He did. He cleared out a reasonable amount of army, like gateway units, but not the expensive units. The Templar, the Immortals, the Colossus still exist, and there's not really anything for them right now.
And there is now nothing at home to defend us.
Yeah.
I think mainly it was the lack of combat shield that kind of hurt him, but...
Yeah, the lack of combat shields, and just the pure lack of upgrades. Look at our Protoss says +3 attack and +1 armor. Usually you get the armor, but he's got so much attack that it didn't matter. And he will charge through here.
And that's
pulling SCVs to try and go directly after the Colossus.
But...
And Pinkamena does tap out again, so...